It now being 3 o'clock, we can call the August 18th meeting of the Laconia Police Commission to order. Would you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Let the minutes show that recording secretary, executive assistant Lori Marsh is present. And a roll call for the commission, Commissioner Mello.
Yep.
Commissioner Davis.
Here.
Commissioner Whittam is here. And I'd like to recognize the Chief Matthew J. Canfield. So we have a quorum, and then we will then move on to the agenda. Personnel matters, accommodations and awards. Chief Canfield.
So our award ceremony will be held on October 20th. The times are approximate at this point, but I anticipate starting at 5 o'clock at night, probably going to like 7 or 7:30. So we would certainly love to have the commission there. As part of that, as far as the venue, I'm still working on a couple of options for the venue, but I'm looking to do something to acknowledge the work and certainly the actions that our officers do on a everyday basis.
It was
October 20th from approximately 5 o'clock. I'll get you the further details once they're locked in.
Moving on, resignations and retirement. Chief Canfield.
Nothing?
Promotions and classification changes. Chief Canfield.
Nothing?
Command staff reports, orders and bulletins. Chief Canfield. Support division.
So they've been working on a number of different grant opportunities, and certainly Lieutenant Hubbard, along with Captain Graydon, have been researching any and all available grants to help acquire some of the stuff that we need without doing so through our budget. So they've been working really hard on that. We'll be bringing you some of those in the near future for your approval. They've been troubleshooting some minor issues with the radio system and still working to get the second frequency through the FCC. Detectives have been very busy. They've been working on a number of drug investigations and a lot of good work out of there. They're working on the final command post setup, which, as you remember, was funded entirely with a grant. We expect to take delivery sometime probably in the April timeframe, depending on the availability of supplies for the company, but they're working on finalizing some of the details for that. And then the new cars that were approved with the budget starting July 1st, they were actually proactively ordered back in March. It looks like they were pushed off for their arrival date, so we're probably going to look at taking delivery of those at some point in December. So another month or two after that to be outfitted and equipped to get them on the road. And that's it for support.
No questions. Operations division. Chief Canfield.
So this weekend will be a very busy event. Lieutenant Noyes and Captain Finogle have been working very hard at a lot of the planning and contingency plans for this event. It looks like it's going to be a rather large event that has been kind of a moving target and very fluid, given that it's the first time Laconia has hosted this event. But we look for a very safe weekend and a very safe event, but certainly a very busy event as well. So I would encourage people, if they don't have to be in the downtown area and Old North or North Main Street area, the event is headquartered at O-Pee-Chee Park. So if people are just looking to cut through there, we certainly encourage them to seek an alternate route. But we're looking at probably somewhere between 1,000 and 2,000 participants between the swim, bike, and run event. So we're excited to see it, but certainly a lot of work goes into the planning process for that and scheduling officers for various intersections and all the planning that comes with that. Lastly, the scheduling software that we've been talking about for a number of months has been implemented on a trial basis and should be fully implemented in September, which will give employees the ability to submit leave requests electronically through the the app as well as to view the schedule remotely. So that's certainly been a big workload on their part as well. And that's it for operations.
What time are they gonna start that thing?
I think they're looking at some of the road closures starting about 7 a.m.
Yeah, 'cause I'm gonna be in Guilford at 10. Well, I'll probably have to go up to the industrial park and cut around and through the back.
Probably, although the industrial park will probably be busy too. That's one of the big parking lots that we're directing people to park in and then be shuttled down or walk down, so. It'll congest the area for a while.
Either that or go over down street and go that way.
Yeah, might be the better route.
Any progress on hirings or new candidates?
We've talked about doing our own test, but we're just kinda waiting to see what Great Bay does as far as hosting the test for this fall. But either way, we're gonna be moving forward this fall to get those positions filled.
Moving on to commission action, you've all received a copy of the meeting minutes of July 28th. Are there any additions, deletions, comments?
Make a motion, we accept them as written.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. On a motion made by Commissioner Mello, seconded by Commissioner Davis, passes unanimously. The meeting minutes of July 28th are accepted as distributed.
We do have one item under that as well. And that would be for the request to attend the International Association of Chiefs of Police Conference in New Orleans, Louisiana, from September 10th to September 15th. This is a conference that I usually attend every year. And as part of that, the Chiefs Conference, the Terrorism Committee that I sit on has their annual meeting there as well. So looking for your approval to attend that conference.
Any questions? I'll accept the motion to approve the chief's
I make a motion.
attendance.
Yep, I make so moved.
I'll second that.
On a motion made, all right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion made by Commissioner Mello, again, seconded by Commissioner Davis, passes unanimously. Have a good time, Chief.
Thanks.
I know,
It's
I know.
New Orleans.
But
But
it's
thank
work,
you.
I know. No, I know, but safe travels. That's a review of monthly activity reports. Department monthly highlights. Chief Canfield.
So our calls for service are up very significantly. They're up about 30%. For the month of July, we responded a total of 2,274 calls for service, which was up over 200 calls the corresponding month last year. We responded a total of 277 criminal offenses that were investigated. Made a total of 114 physical custody arrests. Our motor vehicle stops were up significantly as well. We're at 77% increase. So we had about 738 motor vehicle stops for the month of July. Took 16 people into custody for intoxication. Responded to a total of 37 domestic disturbance calls, 144 other disturbance calls, 13 suicidal subjects, and investigated 17 violation or restraining orders. So it's certainly been a very busy summer. As for criminal investigations unit statistics, they took on a total of 29 new cases for the month of July, conducted 9 follow-up cases, 3 felony arrests, initiated 3 felony charges, made 1 misdemeanor arrest, initiated 1 misdemeanor charge, conducted 12 search warrants, cleared 2 cases exceptionally, 2 cases unfounded, conducted a total of 20 sex offender registrations, 8 computer-related crime investigations, 3 drug intel knock and talks, 10 drug intel sheets, covered 2 patrol shifts, and conducted 1 polygraph exam, along with 36 body-worn camera redactions. So they've been certainly busy as well.
I see the sex offenders, registrations are down.
You know,
They
yeah.
moved out of town, or?
Well, they haven't moved out of town necessarily, but they do kind of ebb and flow depending on people moving in and out of Laconia. So those numbers do fluctuate the number they do every month.
Moving on to budget printouts, Chief Canfield.
We're certainly at the beginning of the year. I think in an email I sent out earlier that we were approved, our animal control officer currently works 24 hours a week, which is supplemented by 2/3 of her salary by the towns of Guilford and Belmont. So she does regional animal control services for those 3 towns. But we received money in our budget this year to make her full-time. The additional 16 hours a week will go to conducting parking enforcement, which is greatly needed, and we can use her to target those areas and do a better job with parking enforcement. So other than that, the budget is certainly in good shape at the beginning of the budget year.
No questions? All right, moving on to monthly traffic statistics.
So for the month of July, we responded to a total of 65 motor vehicle accidents. 14 of those had personal injury. Issued 131 parking tickets. The number one reason for ticketing was overtime parking, which led to 75 of those tickets. As far as cause of accidents by reason, the number one reason was for driver inattention or distraction, which accounted for 21 of those motor vehicle accidents, followed by unsafe backing, which attributed to 9 motor vehicle accidents. The number one location was Union Avenue, which accounted for 23, and Court Street, which accounted for 6 of those motor vehicle accidents. And then for the month of July, we conducted 738 motor vehicle stops in total. So they've been certainly hitting the traffic enforcement very heavy.
Yeah, I watched 3 cruises the other day up on North Main Street. You know, one up by the prison, one up by the park, and then one on a side street on Lewis Street. It was good. I mean, they were busy. It was good.
Yeah, it is good, and you know, certainly with our goal with traffic enforcement is to change driving behavior and slow people down. It's not necessarily to ticket everybody. If you look at the ratio of warnings to tickets, it's very heavily outweighed by warnings, but we do want to keep people safe, reduce those accidents, so.
On the accident breakdown by cause, physical impairment, what can you give me an example of? You had one for physical impairment. What would that be?
My guess would be, it would be probably some type of either under the influence of drugs or under the influence of alcohol, or even a prescription drug. Even if it's a legal prescription drug, if it impairs your ability to drive a vehicle, then it would, technically, you're not supposed to be driving a vehicle, so it would be the cause.
Moving on to monthly fleet report, Chief Canfield.
I mentioned that the new cars will be in. We won't be taking delivery of them until sometime in December, because everything's been backed up. So they were delayed a little bit, but other than that, the fleet is looking in good shape.
Good. Any questions? Okay. Moving on, correspondence to and from the department, Chief Canfield.
We had a nice thank you letter from the Winnipesaukee Hog Chapter, which was thanking us for our assistance in a motorcycle ride that we helped them out with. We also had a nice survey result from someone that we helped out on a call for service that was very complimentary of our the police services that they received. So certainly a nice thing to receive positive feedback on the work that our officers are doing.
Okay, Chief's report, Chief Canfield.
So far, year-to-date, we've had a total of 43 drug overdose calls, as compared to a total of 78 for last year. We have, even though this chart reflects 2, I believe we have 3 drug overdose deaths, and we had 4 for the entire year last year. Eric Adams is certainly working very hard in the position that he's doing, and I think the work that the drug detectives are doing certainly is having an impact on some of the drug trends, but certainly not an issue that has gone away. On next Tuesday, the 24th, we'll be doing an employee luncheon. I thought it was important to recognize our employees that work every day, and so I kind of wanted to flip it over and have their supervisors do all the cooking. So it'll be sergeants and lieutenants and myself, and just doing a simple barbecue lunch for them to show our appreciation. So that's next Tuesday from 11 to 2. And then we'll be doing it again at night from 5 to 6 for the evening crew. So certainly, you're more than welcome to attend, and I'd love to see you there if you can make it. On September 25th.
Just getting back to that for a second.
Yep.
I'm glad to help out if you want some help.
That's the second.
Yeah, absolutely. Love to have you.
Second.
Put me to work.
September. Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
I'll help out.
We'll be doing it in the courtyard off of the backside of the community room there. So yeah, love to have you help.
Right?
And the times again?
11 to 1 for the lunch, and then the dinner will be 5 to 6. The dinner will probably be a lot smaller, just because I think there's a smaller crew that comes in at night. And they'll probably
They,
just come in.
they eat faster too, right?
Exactly.
5 to 6, you said in the afternoon?
Correct.
Yeah.
And 11 to 1.
Right, good.
September 25th, I've scheduled an open house of the police department. I thought this was a unique way of connecting with the community and kind of invite them into our house. I envision doing some of our specialty units, whether it's the drone unit or the canine or mountain bike or any of the other specialty units that we have. Inviting the public to come in, see what we do, unveil our new cop card program that we have with all of our new cop cards, and then do some guided tours throughout the police department. So that has been scheduled for September 25th, and will be from 11 in the morning to 2 in the afternoon. That's on a Saturday. So we'll be advertising that. Eric Adams will be heading up the Citizen Academy as he did 2 years ago. We didn't do it last year because of COVID, but we'll be running that again this year. It's a 10-week program that runs from 6 to 9 every Wednesday night for 10 weeks. That will begin on September 15th. And the goal of the Citizen Police Academy is certainly to connect with members of our community, show them what we do, teach them what we do, and familiarize them with their police department and hear their feedback, and just connect with them. So certainly, if you know of anyone, or if anyone listening has any interest in doing this, contact Officer Eric Adams. We'd love to have more people attend. And then I talked about the awards ceremony. We'll be having a staff meeting for all of our supervisors on August 25th, followed by a training in September on behavioral analysis. So everyone's completed their online assessment, which will be reviewed, and then it'll be taught by Primex later in September. So looking to really connect our staff together, bring them together in their communication styles, interpretations, and whatnot. So I've actually heard a fair amount of feedback from some of the supervisors that have taken it, saying, hey, this is really interesting stuff. So because they actually get a report printout back to them on their communication style, strengths, weaknesses. There's no right or wrong answer, but just, what means stuff to people and how they communicate, and that kind of feedback. So looking forward to the in-person training in September very much. So, and that's all I have under my report.
Questions? Old business? Nothing? New business?
Nothing?
Other business.
Nothing.
Just have a question. Ken, does either fire or police, when you go through the red lights, is there a signal that stops those lights from changing, or is it just,
With the lights on, with the emergency lights on?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so there's a white, they call it an annunciator. It's a white light that's in the light bar. That if you look on the poles, there's actually a black little, almost like a cone-shaped object. That picks up the white light, and that's what changes it to green the way the emergency vehicle's going.
oh, okay.
So we do have them. Fire department has them as well. Not every intersection's equipped with that device. The new lights that, as they redo the intersections, they'll have them, but not all of them have them. I think Manning Court has it. I think Lakeport has it. I'm not sure about the rest of them. Maybe McIntyre Circle has it, but.
Yeah, I was out at Main Street, and I hadn't noticed it before, but it seemed like they changed, so just,
Yeah,
you know, my wife asked me the question, so.
yeah, I mean, it's a really good safety feature because it picks it up way back, you know, so the intersection can clear out, so you don't have the traffic in the way.
Yeah,
But also so you don't have to worry about going against a red light when another way has a green light, might not see you, so,
right.
yeah.
I think the lights by the Tavern Hotel,
I think you're right.
the library has,
Yep.
it hangs down a little bit, kind of.
I had to
Yep.
stop a truck from passing me, cause I pulled off, cause I could see the ambulance coming. I was like that to drive it, all of a sudden pulls right in behind me.
Yeah. I think also, Public Works is working on making all the intersections ADA compliant, so you'll hear some of them now, like the walk signals actually talk. So
Yeah.
they have voice commands and stuff, so, it's good stuff.
Yes, someone wrote a letter to the editor about the one by the Tavern Hotel, waking her up in the morning when, I guess there's a blind guy that walks every morning, he'd get to the light, push the button, and then they begin to count. And the lady in the hotel said it was too loud, it kept waking her up.
I just wondered if they could lower the sound down a little bit.
Citizen comments. None? Confirmation of the next meeting date, September 15th.
That's the day I come back from New Orleans, if we could pick, if we're
I
able to
won't be
do that.
here either,
Okay,
so. I'll be out of
are we
town.
able to do the following week?
We'll move to the next 22nd.
Sure.
22nd, all right. Move to the September 22nd, is that?
I won't be here there either.
Twenty-ninth?
25th? Oh, no,
Be
yeah,
back.
29th? Or
Be back
till
that
11th?
day, but not till late, so.
Actually, I'll be there for that.
22nd, 20,
You could change the day if that
Or
works.
the
It doesn't
day.
have to be a Wednesday.
22nd, outside possibility, it's just, I'm gonna be over by Syracuse coming back, so depending on the
Want
time.
to do the next day, the 23rd?
Do the 23rd.
Does that work?
23rd?
It's a Thursday.
Or, yep. Okay, next meeting date, September 23rd. Is there a need for non-public?
There is none.
So I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
Second that?
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion made by Commissioner Mello, second by Commissioner Davis, passes unanimously. Meeting adjourned at 3:25.